Hi everyone. I just wanted to get on here tonight and talk to you a little bit about one of my very favorite appliances is the quick cooker. I'm going to be making some sweet potato casserole tomorrow, so I wanted to go ahead and cook the potatoes tonight as well as some eggs to make some deviled eggs. So I thought, well, I'll just jump on here and do a quick little demonstration for those that don't know anything about the quick cooker. I don't know if you guys remember your mother or your grandmother cooking with a pressure cooker, but I do, and I remember a couple weird memories of being so frightened of that thing because it had this weird little thing that spun around on the top and made like lots of loud noise, and the more pressure it got, the faster it went, and the louder it seemed, and I always thought that thing was going to take off and fly across the room and take my eye out, but it didn't. So my mom also kind of used it with caution and told me just always be careful with the steam and whatnot. So thankfully they've come a long ways as far as the safety goes. And I don't know that anybody was ever really hurt back then, but I am so glad that they have made them much safer and much easier to use now than what they used to be. And also, if you remember what the microwaves did to the cooking era, it kind of revolutionized cooking in that era of like the late 70s, 80s. And that was great because it offered a way to cook things super fast and without heating up the whole house. But one thing it did that wasn't so great was that it took the emphasis off the pressure cooking. And I feel like it just in the last 5 or so years has really gotten back to where it's been appreciated. The one thing I do remember was that everything tasted great when it came out of there. Now, my mom was a good cook, so there's that, but I also believe that every good cook knows that the cookware that they choose to cookware is as important as the ingredients that they put in there and what they do once they're in there. So she did wonders with it. She made the best roast, and I can do that in here as well. They're very, very moist, juicy, and flavorful. Vegetables, everything cooks so fast, which is the convenient part of it that I love. But it cooks so fast also that it pushes the flavor in, and as well as the it keeps the nutrients in it as well. So that's one other benefit for it. So I was going to show you just a few of the accessories that come with it because it's so versatile that anyway, the way it is, but if you add different accessories, it becomes even more and more versatile depending on what all you want to use it for. So there are, this is the fluted cake pan, which is what I call the bundt pan. It comes with the little rack that you just set that down into and grab hold of it like that, so it's easy to manage. You put that down on top of that rack here, so it just sits kind of like right towards the top of it, and put the lid on and you're ready to go. Now, one thing about a pressure cooker of any type and the quick cooker is no different. Because it cooks by steam, you do always have to have water in it. So a minimum of 1 cup is what they recommend to make sure that it can make enough steam to build up the pressure and cook how it's supposed to. So there was the fluted cake pan or the bundt pan. There's also a springform pan, so you make cheesecakes in that. So it pops open to take the cheesecake out. And again, it sets down in this little wire thing that you raise and lower. And then the handles to the wire, I guess, crate that it goes in just fold down when it's inside there, just like so. So it's really convenient. One of the other things that I love is the steaming basket. So this is a double steaming basket here. So you can use it by itself, or you can use either one by themselves, or you can stack them in here so you can put 2 different entrees together in 2 different ones and then set it down. And with that, you don't use the rack, of course, because it wouldn't fit. So you set that down in there and you're good to go. So that's another one that the vegetables taste super good and they cook fast and stay really nutritious. So one of the other things that I really like as far as accessories is the ceramic pot, the ceramic cookware here. So this is great for anything that needs to be in a container instead of at the bottom of the pot or in one of the cake pans, of course. So this is a super nice pot, and I use it for like scalloped potatoes or cauliflower potatoes, rice type dishes, any type of a casserole type dish. And it has a silicone lid that is kind of a stretchy lid with a hole, two vented holes on the top so that it lets some of the steam out, which is the type the lid that you need to have inside the pot, any type of a pressure cooker pot. So that just goes on like so. It sits down in its own basket, and again has the handles and sets down on top like that. The handles fold down, put the lid on, so you're ready to go. And the beauty of it is you can put food underneath that. As you can see, this sits down at the bottom, so you still have the room underneath that, and around the outside of the pot there's a little bit of room, so you can cook different entrees all at the same time, which I really do like that too. One pot to wash instead of multiple, so who doesn't love that? And then one of the other accessories that makes it really super nice is the egg. Sorry, I have things falling over here. Is the rack that you can make hard-boiled eggs in, and you can also use it for other things as well. So this is the stackable rack. So you can see there's two of them together there, and the handle just folds down while it's in there. These are sold as a set or individually. So see, that's just one by itself. That will hold a dozen eggs. So 2 dozen total if you have the stackable, both the double layer ones. Or you can use it to set anything on that's kind of a round top to it, or that you need to separate just a little bit more, like a layer like that doesn't need to be in a bowl. And then you also have the option of getting these little, I call them custard cups, but they're prep cups is what they are. This is the exact same thing as the 1 cup prep cups that you can buy as a set. And they also come with the same lids that the prep cups come with, because that's what it is. And it also has the silicone lid, so you put whatever it is in there that you're cooking in there, like a custard or whatever individual serving size that you want. Put the lid on, and 3 of those fit on here, on one of these. So the set of these comes in a set of 6. So in between the stackable racks, 3 on each one, you just layer them together and you set them down in there, and you can just pick them up and pull them back out like that. So it's super clever. I do like that a lot also. And also there's an optional, drop that, optional glass lid that you can use that makes this also into you can use it as a slow cooker. So you can, eliminate one of your appliances by doing that. So that makes it even more useful. So I have some water I'm going to put in there to make sure that has the steam that it needs. So I'll just go ahead and pour some of that in there. And then this is a Majorelle cup. I don't know if you guys have noticed or seen those before on there, but there's 2 different sizes that come that you can get. This one is the 2 cup size, so it's a little bit bigger. I always try to pull when all you have to do is push. So it has the liquids that go in the one side, which is what you just saw me use, and this comes all the way out for washing. But as you slide it up and down, you see the measurements. The other side, which is the best part of it, it offers you the ability to measure stuff that is that icky, sticky stuff like peanut butter, cream cheeses, anything that's sticky and gooey, and I hate measuring, and usually I just kind of guess. You put in here, this slides up and down, so you can slide that up to however much you want, like a quarter of a cup. Fill it up with what you want, level it off, put it above what you're putting the ingredient in, push it like that, and just take your knife or spatula and go like that, and you're done. It cleans really easily because it comes apart, and actually it pushes everything pretty cleanly out of there. So I do like that a lot. And that's the 2-cup one. I think there's also a 1-cup one. I don't think I know that. So what I'm going to do right now is cook some sweet potatoes. Normally I would leave this rack in while I'm doing the sweet potatoes and set those on top of there because I like that better than them sitting in the water, but it doesn't hurt to have them sit in the water. I think it just probably, you lose a little bit of the nutrients by doing it that way, so I choose not to normally. But I put that in there like that, and what I'm going to do is also take some eggs. So, running out of room here. So I do my hard-boiled eggs like this. They peel so easy. I have had no problem. I mean, like as in 1 or 2 pieces that the shell comes off. It's done super fast. I love that part. So I'm only going to do 4 because I have special plans for those 4. So anyway, that just sets right down in here, and again the handles just fold over. Oh yeah, and these are the insulated bowls that they came out with this fall. And honestly, I was not that excited about them when they came out because I thought, oh, you know, it's just not very exciting thing to me, I don't think anyway. But they work so well. I am telling you what, I've had food up to 2 hours that stays hot. One of these times I'm gonna actually time it to see how long it will stay hot and just kind of keep checking. But as you can see, it's pretty lightweight. It has a rubber bottom on it so that they stay put when you put them down. And it's kind of you can tell it's insulated by filling it. And then the top is actually a plastic, so it makes it nice and lightweight. And they have little tabs on them so that while you're serving out of it, you can just put that right on the side of your container like that. And it just sits up nicely, so you don't have to put it on the table and get the whole table dirty. But I do love those a lot. That's the 2-quart one, or this is a 3-quart one, and this 2-quart one. I believe that's how it is. But anyway, there's a large and a small. So, oh, here's the other lid. Yes, and that has the same tab also, the tab feature. So it stays right up like that when you're serving out of it. So, good to know also. I love those, and for Thanksgiving, really going to be used. So I have those eggs in there now. I have the sweet potatoes in there now. And I'm going to go ahead and get things started. So the lid just sits down on there. The front of it is always the other side. Sorry. Where it says close and open. And you'll hear it like doing the little chiming. And when you close it, it chimes again. The main thing with any pressure cooker when you go to start it, and the thing that if you forget, you're going to remember pretty quick because the steam won't build up. Make sure that this button, sometimes it's depressed down like so. You'll hear it click. Make sure it's up so it's ready to seal. And that this also needs to be lined up with it. And that's it. Okay, so then there's a little red button back here. I know you can't see that on the video, but that actually pops up as the steam builds. So kind of like the thermometer and the turkeys that you cook. So as the steam builds and that comes up, you know not to open the lid. And then at the end, as that goes back down, that's when it's fully depressed, that it's safe to use the lid. So there's lots of pre-programmed default settings on here if you choose to use them. You can do like the rice setting, the soup, the seafood, fish, meat, whatnot. Or you can do custom settings. So I'm going to do a custom setting. But also you can sear in here. So I take my meat, like my roast, and I'll take it, turn on sear, let it get really hot, and then put the meat down in there, sear both sides so it seals it kind of shut and keeps the juices in. And then I started to pressure cooking, and it gives a really good flavor on the outside and keeps the juices on the inside. So it's really, really awesome. There's a steam setting, there's a slow cooking, and a proofing, so you can proof bread in here as well. So you can do a lot of different things. It's very versatile. So what I'm going to do is push custom. It defaults to the setting of 30 minutes, but I don't want 30 minutes. I'm going to push time, and then down I'm going to go for 12 minutes and push start, and that's it. So it's ready to go. So you have the option at the end of leaving it to warm, so it will keep the food warm if you're cooking something that you want to keep warm, or just goes off, either way. So at the end, as far as opening the lid, any pressure cooker, there's two ways to open at the end. There is the natural release, which just means you don't do anything. You just let the steam automatically and the pressure dissipate on its own, and then as the red button goes back down and is depressed, you know that it's safe to open the lid, and then you can open it. Or there's the manual release. Some foods you want to do a slow release, some foods you want to do a fast release. You want to stop cooking right, fairly quick. You don't, it's a timed thing, and you don't want to continue on that little bit of a cooking. So with a manual release, all you do is you push this button and walk away. So the old one that I used to have, a different brand, I had to stand there, and actually I had to use a chef's tongue and push. There was a lever that I had to manually hold while it let all the steam out, and I felt like I still was having to get too close to it with the chef's tongue. So I really like this. Just push the button, walk away, and it's manually depressed or dissipates within probably a minute at the most, not very long at all. So I do love this baby. You cook in one area, one pot. You don't have to heat up your kitchen. Oftentimes you just have one dish that you're washing, unless you're using multiple layers of these for the entrees, which again, it's nice to have all those in one spot, and have it all done at once. So you just start your food and you walk away. It's tasty. I love it. It's great for people like me who have great intentions, but I don't plan very well when it actually comes to execution. So like on a weekend, I'll think, oh, I know I'm going to have the whole week planned out. Well, the day comes and I realize I forgot to take the chicken out of the freezer, or I decided, oh, I don't have what I need to make that, so let's make this, but oh gosh, that meat's not thawed, or I don't have time because I waited too long, or I just wasn't home from work. So this, at the last minute, you can take chicken out of the freezer and cook it in under 10 minutes. It's just crazy. And I love that, and the flavor's good with it. It's not dried out, as opposed to putting it in a microwave and defrosting it. I just don't like the way that makes some meats kind of rubbery or dry, and halfway cooks parts, and then parts are still frozen. So in here you don't get that. You get it's a nice even cook from frozen or from thawed state, whichever you want. So think about it. I love it. If you have any questions, ask me. If I can answer them, I will. If I can't, I'll find the answer. And thank you so much.